Hi there, Doug Stewman with IT Creations with the 1U Gigabyte R183-Z90 rack server. Once again, a lot of choices in this server family and a lot of options. This one is only on Rev 1.0, which means support for only 4th generation AMD EPYC 9004 series processors. Dual processors, that is. Once we get to Rev 3.0, it will support 5th gen AMD EPYC CPUs. And yes, they do seem to skip over Rev 2.0 from previous experience. The SKU, on the other hand, has to do with drive support and PSU rating, at least so far. Confused yet? Then hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it. Gigabyte used to have just revisions, and that would have covered the CPU update. However, that may have spawned a whole new problem, given that then you would have another set of SKUs with that system just supporting the new processor and the OG version supporting the older processor. I don't know, maybe I'm making this too difficult. This Gigabyte R183-Z90 rack server currently has 5 SKUs, and probably more to follow. It has not been given a revision to support 5th gen AMD EPYCs just yet, but those processors are supported in the same socket and will typically only require a BIOS and firmware update. Oh, the anticipation is killing me. Let's get on with this. The front of the system has 4 3.5-inch NVMe SATA SAS hot swappable drive bays, but only for AAD1 and AAV1. For SKUs AAD2 and AAV2, the same number of bays just support for hot swappable SATA or SAS. I will mention, if you want SAS, they all require a SAS HD controller. The last revision, LAD1, supports direct liquid cooling. Just above HDD 0 and 1 are 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports and a small control panel featuring non-maskable interrupt button, reset button, an ID button, power on button, and a few telltale LED lights including LAN 1, LAN 2, drive status, and general system status. Are you interested in the Gigabyte R183-Z90 rack server? If you are, then for a limited time you can save up to $500 off a purchase price of a system that's listed or one that you can configure that's valued at $5,000 or more. Sound good? Hit that link to find out more about this system. When you're ready to make a purchase, just mention this video. itcreations.com. Around the back of the system, PSUs are aligned to either side of the chassis with PCI slots 3 and 4 on top and 2 OCP card slots below with the I/O panel squeezed in between. It features the usual suspects: mini DisplayPort, ID LED, 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports, 2 Gigabit Ethernet ports, and a dedicated management LAN port. I will mention that Gigabyte offers a few management utilities for the server. The Gigabyte Management Console comes pre-installed on the system and enables management of a single server or small cluster. GSM, or the Gigabyte Server Management, is downloadable and offers more robust features. And no, I'm not sure why there is no acronym for the Gigabyte Management Console. I mean, it could be GMC, but maybe they didn't want to confuse it with a truck. I don't know. What I do know is you get real-time health monitoring, support for standard IPMI specifications, event recording, and HD control and monitoring of Broadcom Megarate adapters. Same with GSM. Though with GSM, large clusters of servers can be managed, but you also get remote monitoring of the system for both Windows and Linux operating systems, and it complies with IPMI and Redfish standards. The following utilities add more value: GSM Server, GSM Command Line Interface, GSM Mobile for Android or iOS, and the GSM plugin to sync with VMware vCenter. Once we crack open the case, you can see all PCI slots and OCP card connectors offer a by 16 connector width. And what you can't see, a PCI 5.0 interface with a by 16 link width. For DLC, Gigabyte has teamed with a company called CoolIT. I mention that because if this was the direct liquid cooling version, you will lose one of those PCI slots, as that would be conscripted for the liquid input-output tubes. Those tubes would connect to CoolIT's passive cold plate loop technology featuring modified heatsinks on each of the 2 CPUs. The tubes connect to a rack manifold system, which in turn connects to a coolant distribution unit, which also functions as a heat exchanger to manage supply temperature and flow to the servers. The liquid in this case is not water, but a fluorocarbon-based liquid, kind of like a coolant used in your car, but this is electrically insulating. Water, on the other hand, not electrically insulating and quite good at conducting electrical current. The advantages are decreased power usage, as DLC is more efficient at removing thermal excess than air-cooled systems, and a better performance resulting from compatibility with CPUs offering a higher TDP. There is immersion cooling too, but maybe another day. Kind of looks like a square witch's cauldron. Kind of has that
double toil and trouble.
Yeah, that vibe, without the 3 crones. This system is air-cooled. Let's move on. As you can see, just behind the drive backplane are 8 miniature 40 by 40 millimeter fans providing cooling for the CPUs and memory module slots before blowing by the PCI slots and out the back of the system. Storage on this system is variable and really depends on the installed backplane for support of NVMe drives. As a networking server, it could benefit from GPUs, but with only 2 full-height half-length slots, limited choices. Basically down to the NVIDIA Tesla T4, tried and true, or the NVIDIA A2 Ampere-based GPU. Neither one consumes more than the 75 watts provided by the PCI slot. However, they will affect the thermals on the system, so that is a consideration, especially if you plan on installing high TDP CPUs. Preserving those 2 PCI slots, or maybe just one, are the OCP 3.0 card slots, also compatible with a small form factor card. Those can be used to provide additional network ports, different port options, and different link speeds. There is a large selection of CPUs to choose from, including the Genoa, Genoa X, and Bergamo options. Need more cores? Go Bergamo with up to 128 physical cores and 256 virtual threads each, and L3 cache at up to 256 megabytes. Need more cache? Genoa X provides up to 1152 megabytes of cache and is outfitted with AMD's 3D V-Cache technology. And then there's standard Genoa, which will provide up to 96 physical cores and 192 virtual threads. That one would be the 9654, which will also provide a cache of 384 megabytes. The configurable TDP for these processors is up to 300 watts, which can go up to 400 watts under limited thermal conditions. I'm thinking DLC, but also if ambient air temperature is less than 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and your OCP cards don't consume more than 12 watts of juice. That's the small print. I have confirmed that the AMD EPYC 5000 series CPUs will be supported across all SKUs of the R183-Z90s. However, it will require an update to Rev 3.0 to realize support for AMD EPYC 9005 series CPUs and faster memory speeds of up to 6,000 megatransfers per second. Without the revision, memory speed is limited to 4,800 megatransfers per second, even with DDR5 6000 memory. 4,800 megatransfers per second is the top memory speed provided by AMD EPYC 9004 series CPUs. It's not clear exactly which CPUs will be supported, as the TDP for 9005 series CPUs goes up to 500 watts, but you can have up to 192 physical cores and 384 virtual threads per CPU with those. Since the CPUs do have 12-channel memory architecture and there are 24 memory module slots between the dual processors, good to go on 1 DIMM per channel. There are 3 M.2 slots on the system board. 2 of those can be used to support the OS in a mirror RAID, and perhaps the third for updates. Maybe. The first 2 have a PCI 3.0 by 4 interface, and the other has a Gen 3 2.0 interface. RAID cards supported on this system include the Supreme RAID by Grade technologies if you plan on installing all NVMe drives up front. With a Grade Supreme RAID card, you could get up to 200 gigabytes per second throughput to fully utilize NVMe drive speed. And it's plug and play. There are more traditional controllers for a SAS implementation. RAID is somewhat limited as there are only 4 drive bays up front, and some RAID configurations require more than 4 drives. And there you have it, Gigabyte's R183-Z90 rack server with a few permutations on the SKUs. At only 1U, it does offer some high-performance compute and is certainly adaptable for a number of different workloads. Have questions? Post them in the comments section below. If you're interested in this server, I placed a few links in the description, or you can use that one right there, itcreations.com. Until next time, I'm Doug Stuman with IT Creations, and thanks for watching.